Hello, I'm Louise and this is the out-of-print audiobooks requests list for July 2025. The request list contains the out-of-print audiobooks that my viewers have asked me to find and upload to this channel. If you would like to request an out-of-print audiobook, you can leave a comment under any video and I will see what I can do. You may request up to 3 audiobooks at any one time. There are over 150 titles on this list. If you have any of the audiobooks that I haven't already tracked down and would like to share them with me, you can email me at arrow.youtube@hotmail.co.uk. We can discuss audiobooks that you've digitized yourself, or if you're in the UK, you can send me the cassettes or CDs you have. I'll digitize them for you and then return them to you. If you email me and don't receive a reply within a week, please feel free to add a comment on any video to nudge me into checking my emails, as yours might have ended up in my spam folder. I cannot thank enough the people who have sent me out-of-print audiobooks. Their names will be in the descriptions where appropriate. If you would like to contribute towards the purchasing of any of the audiobooks on the request list, you can make a donation via the Ko-fi page, ko-fi.com/out-of-print audiobooks. Let's start the requests that have been found but copyright claimed. As a result, these can't be uploaded to the channel. The Demon Headmaster series by Gillian Cross, read by Judy Bennett and Kelly Hunter. Roald Dahl, The Giraffe, the Pelly and Me, read by Hugh Laurie. W.E. Johns, Biggles Defies the Swastika, read by Tim Pigott-Smith. Justin Somper, Tide of Terror, read by Daniel Philpott. Lynn Reed Banks, The Indian in the Cupboard, The Secret of the Indian, The Mystery of the Cupboard, and The Key to the Indian, read by the author. C.S. Lewis, The Chronicles of Narnia series, dramatised by Focus on the Family. Judy Blume, Iggy's House, read by Susanna Fellows. Susan Cooper, King of Shadows, read by Jim Dale. Now the titles that have been found and will be uploaded within the coming months. A huge thank you to those people who send me audiobooks to upload to the channel. You are real heroes and I really appreciate you. The Walt Disney Storytime Collection, all cassettes. Jean Kemp, Just Ferret, read by John Green. Margaret Stewart Barry, Simon and the Witch, read by Elizabeth Spriggs. Alex Garland, The Coma, read by Matthew McFadden. Gerald Seymour, A Line in the Sand, read by Anthony Head. Henrietta Branford, Space Baby, read by Prunella Scales. Evelyn Waugh, Brideshead Revisited, read by Nigel Havers. Roald Dahl, Fantastic Mr. Fox, read by John Baddeley. She Children's Classics, Anne of Green Gables, dramatised. She Children's Classics, The Railway Children, dramatised. Terence Blacker, No Magic Please, read by Helen Lederer. 5 other titles in Terence Blacker's Ms. Wiz series, read by Susie Aitchison. Roald Dahl, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, read by Jonathan Cecil. Paula Danziger, The Pistachio Prescription, read by the author. Frank Richards, 6 titles in the Billy Bunter series, read by Martin Jarvis. C.S. Lewis, The Magician's Nephew, read by Andrew Sachs. C.S. Lewis, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, read by Andrew Sachs. Muriel Spark, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, read by Geraldine McEwen. Dorothy Edwards, My Naughty Little Sister's Friends, read by Jan Francis. A. Milne, Winnie the Pooh, read by Lionel Jeffries. A. Milne, The House at Pooh Corner, read by Lionel Jeffries. Ira Levin, Rosemary's Baby, read by Peter Marinka. Wilkie Collins, The Moonstone, read by Michael Pennington, Terence Hardiman, and Carol Boyd. Agatha Christie, Third Girl, read by John Woodvine. Agatha Christie, The Labours of Hercules, read by John Woodvine. Daphne du Maurier, I'll Never Be Young Again, read by Jonathan Firth. Tony Bradman, Mystery on Tape, read by Colin Waitley. Dick King-Smith, The Foxbusters, read by Robert Hardy. Dick King-Smith, The Witch of Blackberry Bottom, read by Prunella Scales. Nick Park, Chicken Run, read by Imelda Staunton. Humphrey Carpenter, 7 Mr. Majika titles, read by the author and Andrew Sachs. Jill Murphy, The Worst Witch series, read by Miriam Margolyes. Enid Blyton, The Secret Island, read by Jan Francis. Alan Arlberg, 10 in a Bed, read by Andy Crane. Kess Gray, Gurks, Squirms and Water Greeps, read by Kate Sachs. Kess Gray, Cowcumbers, Pipplewocks and Alligrators, read by Kate Sachs. Jill Murphy, Deerhound, read by Bernard Cribbins. Kathy Cassidy, Dizzy, read by Gina Bellman. Elizabeth Googe, The Little White Horse, read by Miriam Margolyes. Antoine de Saint-Esprit, The Little Prince, read by Michael Maloney. Ian Sorelier, The Silver Sword, read by Michael Maloney. Cornelia Funke, The Thief Lord, read by Michael Maloney. Georgina Bing, Molly Moon's Incredible Book of Hypnotism, read by Ruth Jones. Catherine Sefton, Emma's Ghost, read by Carol Heyman. Mark Brown, The Big Arthur Story Tape, read by the author. Roald Dahl, Dirty Beasts, read by Prunella Scales and Timothy West. Roald Dahl, The Twits, read by Simon Callow. Georgina Bing, Molly Moon's Hypnotic Holiday, aka Molly Moon Stops the World, read by Ruth Jones. Ursula Marie Williams, Spid, read by Bill Oddie. Roger McGough, The Magic Fountain, read by the author. Roald Dahl, The Minpins, read by Richard Pascoe. Zilpha Keatley Smith, The Headless Cupid, dramatised. Oscar Wilde, The Happy Prince and Other Stories. Enid Blyton, The Rocking Down Mystery, dramatised. Jane Austen, Sense and Sensibility, read by Miranda Richardson. Shirley Hughes, Stories by Firelight, read by Anna Massey. K. Umansky, Solomon Snow and the Stolen Jewel, read by Rick Mail. Helen Cresswell, The Bagthorpe's Absolute Zero, read by Clive Mantle. Helen Cresswell, The Bagthorpes versus the World, read by Clive Mantle. Next are the audiobooks that are currently available for me to purchase, least expensive to most expensive. If you would like to contribute towards the cost of any of these audiobooks, you can make a donation via the Ko-fi page mentioned earlier, which is linked in the description. This is really helpful in the case of rare audiobooks, which can get snapped up very fast. Jenny Dale, Teacher's Pet, read by Jan Francis, £4. Henrietta Branford, Dimanche Dilla in Danger, read by Charlotte Coleman, £7. Michael Rosen, You Can't Catch Me, read by the author, £8. Nikki French, The Safe House, read by Harriet Walter, £8. Jenny Dale, Big Ben, read by Jan Francis, £12. Noel Streatfeild, Ballet Shoes, read by Harriet Walter, £12. K. Umansky, Wilma's Wicked Revenge, read by Sandy Toksvig, £13. Lawrence Anholt, The Emperor's New Underwear, read by Neil Morrissey, £13. Elizabeth Jane Howard, Getting It Right, read by Eleanor Bron, £17. Doreen Tovey, Life with Grandma, read by Diana Bishop, £22. Roald Dahl, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, read by Robert Powell, £22. Roald Dahl, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, read by David Suchet, £22. Lois Lowry, Anastasia Kropnik, read by C.J. Critt, £26. Mary Stuart, The Arthurian Trilogy, read by Nicole Williamson, £33. Frances Hodgson Burnett, The Secret Garden, read by Janet McTeer, £34. Alice Walker, Possessing the Secret of Joy, read by the author, £39. Robin Rowe, A List of Cages, read by Graham Halstead, £40. Anne Cameron, The Julian Stories, read by Peter Marinka, £55. Tony Bradman, Science Fiction Stories, read by Stephen McGann, £89. Helen Cresswell, The Watchers, read by Stephen Thorne, £107. Eleanor Porter, Pollyanna, read by Hannah Gordon, £130. C.S. Lewis, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, read by Andrew Sachs, £195. Lastly, the unavailable requests. These are the ones I have been unable to find anywhere. These are in alphabetical order by the author's first name. Rupert and the River Pirates, read by Judy Bennett. Alan Garner, A Bag of Moonshine, read by the author. Alison Utley, Little Brown Mouse, read by Prunella Scales. Burley Doherty, The Snake Stone, read by Dermot Crowley. Betsy Byers, Cracker Jackson, read by Kerry Shale. Betsy Haynes, Teacher Creature, dramatised. Brian Moore, The Lonely Passion of Judith Hearn, read by Frances Tomelty. C.S. Lewis, The Silver Chair and Other Narnia Books, read by Andrew Sachs. Doreen Tovey, Cats in the Belfry, read by Diana Bishop. Doreen Tovey, Roses Round the Door, read by Anna Carter. Enid Blyton, The Mystery of Holly Lane, dramatised. Ethel Turner, Seven Little Australians, read by Judy Dick. Faye Sampson, Josh's Panther, read by Tony Robinson. Fiona Kelly, The Mystery Club series, read by Judith Boyd. Forrest Wilson, Supergran, read by Gudrun Ure. Gary Kilworth, The Drowners, read by Christian Rodsker. Jean Kemp, No Place Like, read by John Green. Giles Andre, Commotion in the Ocean, read by Hugh Laurie. Helen Cresswell, Lizzie Dripping and the Witch, read by Patricia Routledge. Helen Cresswell, The Bagthorpes Ordinary Jack, The Bagthorpes Unlimited, and Bagthorpe Triangle, read by Clive Mantle. Henrietta Branford, Dimanche Diller at Sea, read by Charlotte Coleman. Jill Barklam, Bramley Hedge, Spring Story, Autumn Story, and Poppy's Babies, read by John Baddeley and Susan Sheridan. Joan Stimson, Telephone Ted, read by John Pertwee and Jan Francis. John Marston, Looking for Trouble. Joyce Stranger, The Running Foxes, read by Elizabeth Henry. Judy Corbelis, The Wrestling Princess and Other Stories, read by Celia Imrie. Kay Mansky, Hammy House of Horrors, read by Sandy Toksvig. Kay Mansky, Wilma's Wicked Spell, read by Sandy Toksvig. Lawrence Anholt, Seriously Silly Stories, read by Neil Morrissey. Loretta Chase, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, read by Kate Sachs. Louis Sacre, Sideways Stories from Wayside School, read by Lionel Wilson. Lynn Reed Banks, I, Houdini, read by the author. Mark Haddon, Agent Z Meets the Masked Crusader, read by Rory McGrath. Michael Rosen, The Wicked Tricks of Till Owlyglass, read by the author. Michael Rosen, The Michael Rosen Rap, read by the author. Michael Rosen, Write Class 6, read by the author. Mick Inkpen, Little Kipper's Story Collection, read by Martin Clunes. Nicholas Fisk, Broops Down the Chimney, read by Andy Crane. Nicola Thorne, The Good Samaritan, read by Joanna David. Nina Borden, The Peppermint Pig, read by Carol Boyd. Philip Ridley, Casper in the Glitter, read by David Holt. Richie Tankersley Cusack, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, read by Kirsty Swanson. Robert Clifford, Just Here Doctor, read by Richard Mitchley. Robert Leeson, The Demon Bike Rider, read by Kenneth Shanley. Rod Campbell, Dear Zoo, read by Richard Bryars. Shirley Hughes, Here Comes Charlie Moon, read by Jordan Fairclough. Terence Blacker, Time Flies for Ms. Whiz, read by Helen Lederer. Terence Blacker, Ms. Whiz Spells Trouble, read by Helen Lederer. Tony Mitten, Bumpus Jumpus Dinosaur Rumpus, read by Rick Mail. Ursula Murray Williams, Bog Whippet, read by Angela Thorne. William Gibson, Virtual Light, read by Peter Weller. And those are all the requested audiobooks as of July 2025. Which titles are you most looking forward to listening to in the coming months? Let me know in the comments. As I mentioned, if you have any of the audiobooks I can't find and you would like to share them with me, you can email me at arrow.youtube@hotmail.co.uk, or you can support Out of Print Audiobooks via the Ko-fi page ko-fi.com/Out of Print Audiobooks. I very much hope that you enjoy the upcoming audiobooks. Goodbye for now.